Hello, hello out there. Let's see who we can conjure up. Doing a impromptu live video. Let's give everybody a moment to kind of collect. So nobody was expecting this, so we'll see if anybody shows up. Hey, there's the Bond Armory. Hey Ray, how do I sound? I want to make sure the mic is nice and hot. There's Georgie from Belgium. Will Kirk, how you doing? Good to see you guys on. This is always like romper room when I start these things. I try to call people out. Shane Mackey, temporary displaced. I love that name. That's great. Marcus, there's Marcus. How's it going? Bond Armory. Hope you guys are doing great. Let me just shut some things behind here just to optimize this all. Audio's good? Good. That's great to hear. That's rare when the audio's good. I'm going to give everybody a little bit of time to kind of collect on here. Again, this was not planned. There's no preheating. But this was a big day and a lot happened. And I have, just to kind of show you, I always seem like I have a drink in my hand. Calvin Dyson and I, we're always drinking on these things. Hold on a second. That is a delicious vodka in a weekday glass. That's why it's so small. But let's see, we've got Paris. Paris, what are you doing on it? It's like it's after 11 o'clock. You're supposed to be in bed. Tyler Hickman is there. Scotland. Whiskey in hand. William, nicely done. Whiskey in hand. What kind of whiskey, my friend? Hello from Bergen, Michigan. Marcus loved the new No Time to Die trailer. Yeah. So, hey, Mathieu Auclair, James Bond Complex, my man who does the amazing concepts and artwork. My gosh, for Operation Gatherall. More on that later. But okay, let me tell you why this live stream. And yes, this was totally unplanned. I did a reaction video this morning to the trailer. I don't know if you heard, there was a trailer today. And the only thing rarer than somebody doing a reaction video is somebody that didn't do a reaction video. But actually, they're all great. I got to see a couple of them, and we're going to talk about those as well. But I wanted to hear other people's reactions. I wanted to get kind of a consensus because happily, from, 8 o'clock until 10, it was all Bond this morning. And, I took a slow morning and, posted that quick video. And then I had to go to work. And I had a crazy work day. I had client meetings, a client lunch, and then back-to-back meetings, and then literally grabbed some dinner and, said to Danielle, you know what, I need to do a live stream because I need to collect my thoughts. And the reason I say that is when I did my reaction video, I honestly, the words just didn't come to me. And I think I honestly needed to step back. And I don't know if you were like this at first. Step back and really think about the trailer. Let it kind of wash over me as an experience, as opposed to a Rorschach test where I'm just like, boom. Justin McKellen, nicely done, sir. What year? Keep going. Tell me which year. So I needed to collect my thoughts. The day of working actually helped me to do that because then I came back and I watched the trailer twice more. So I've actually only seen it 5 times. I'm an amateur. But now I can really sit and think about it. And some of the other reaction videos, like I saw Joe Darlington, and he even said, he goes, I don't have words because he was relatively speechless. And Calvin Dyson, who did a great one, didn't have a ton of words. He had a lot of emotions, but he had some really good observations and walked through it. But again, he was even flabbergasted in a good way. And I saw a little bit of From Tailors with Love. And, Peter Brooker's hysterical. He's like dropping F-bombs left and right. So we're all so excited about today. And by the way, did this not feel like a Global James Bond Day more than Global James Bond Day? Yeah, I think it did. Yes, cinematography, beautiful. And we're going to talk about the details. So again, Sussex, England. David, how's it going? I just could not believe what went on today. I had no idea. We got the posters yesterday. We had the 15-second teaser. We knew there was a trailer. And we knew there was Good Morning America. First of all, Good Morning America. Talk about FOMO. Talk about fear of missing out. It's not really fear of missing out. It's just missing out. Oh my gosh. Did you see the crowd? They got posters. They got character posters to wave around. And then the actors signed them afterwards. If you haven't seen Good Morning America, go to my last YouTube video that shows Good Morning America. The cast seemed very relaxed, very fun, very funny. It was a gush fest of Daniel Craig. But afterwards, what you didn't see, you could see it on social media, is they went out into the crowd and just started signing. And I'm like, really? Because I could have braved that cold. But that wasn't all. Omega launched their James Bond watch for a mere $9,000. It's titanium. I like it. I like it a lot. But let's talk about the trailer, because we could go into a lot of different directions. There were so many different things that were launched today. What are we going to do tomorrow, guys? Like, do we have to actually go to work tomorrow? How sad. We got Apatia in Nova Scotia. Will Kirk said it was the best Bond day of my life. All right, so who else was having trouble concentrating at work? It was difficult, right? People were being kind of pulled back. David, have you ever been to Bond in Motion? Yes, I have. And I want to tell you something. There's a gentleman named Marcus who is providing me photos and video for tomorrow about a new exhibit at Bond in Motion. I don't know if you've heard about this anywhere else. So thank you, Marcus, for this. That is No Time to Die. So if you're in London and you're around tomorrow, I would head down to Bond in Motion, knock on the door, and say, excuse me, I hear through the grapevine there you have some No Time to Die stuff here. You will be blown away. I've seen pictures and I've seen some video already, and it's amazing. If you think today and yesterday was just it, this whole week is going to be Bond stuff. And I mean it. It's just going to continue. Jason Phillips says, I haven't seen the watch, damn it. Go to the Omega. Well, there's two things you should do if you want to look at the watch. One moment, please. Delicious. Go to the Omega site and click on it. They have video. They have images. They have the stats. It's amazing. And you can, if you want, you can pre-purchase those things as well, which is very cool. We'll talk more about if I'm gravitating to that or not. Need to sell a kidney or three. Not even my kidneys, just other people's if you want to volunteer. But this is going to continue. So Brandon James McClellan says, so excited. One of the best Bond trailers I've seen, up there with a fantastic trailer for Casino Royale. Yeah, and let's talk about it, because when I first saw it, it was hard to concentrate because, first of all, if you saw it on Good Morning America, they were showing it on this tiny screen. And I'm like, are you serious? Are they going to show the whole trailer on this tiny little Jumbotron, which is not Jumbotron on my computer screen? But happily, they jumped, they turned it, and it went full size. When I first saw it, I did something very bad. Maybe you did this too. I wasn't able to just relax and let it wash over me. Like I said, I was analyzing it. I was looking at the clothing and the sartorial moments. I was looking at the cinematography and the images. And, oh, is that the Matera scene? And is that the DB5? Is that the, which car is that? And, oh, that character. And did she say what? I was studying it. And even the second time, that's the time that I videotaped it, I was kind of like talking to you. So then I wasn't concentrating it. It was only on the third time that I started to pick up the nuances that it's a mini story. I mean, it doesn't give any plot lines, but it's a mini story. And Peter from Sweden, my gosh, man, people should be sleeping. I'm not going to keep you up too late. But some things that I observed right away is they've kind of bookended this trailer. What do I mean by that? It's Matera. Matera in the beginning, Matera at the end. And it seems almost like the same scene. So it's Bond and Madeline, they're driving. And clearly, I think a lot of people have speculated, but it's getting clearer now, that the pre-title sequence is probably a continuation. So, this takes place, this whole movie takes place. And Cary Fukunaga said this, Empire Online, if you go there, he said it takes place 5 years after Spectre. So in my original video, I thought it was 2, 3. It's 5 years after Spectre. I think the pre-title is them canoodling on a honeymoon, still in love, this and that, and something happens. All hell breaks loose. There's a big fight, and there's this secret that precipitates it that he's getting pissed at her. He's like, you didn't tell me this, you didn't tell me this. And then boom, 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 that whole amazing scene. And obviously they get away. And by the way, as somebody with a shoulder injury, the one part that just disconnected me, because I loved everything, even the motorcycle jump, is a 51-year-old jumping like as my wife says, a swan over the edge with a rope and then just swinging down. My shoulder would have ripped out. But anyway, it's a Bond film, David, relax. So then basically, oh, Mathieu, you're all out of gin? Dude, come over to my house. We have gobs. Then I think they're going to separate. Either he's going to push her away and say, you're not safe with me, you got to get away, or there's some major disconnect. Okay. Then, after the opening, No Time to Die, then I think you're going to have 5 years later, him in Jamaica, this and that. He gets pulled back. Now, I've got a theory, and it's judging on kind of a couple things that I was able to do. The way they shaped the trailer, they actually said, Felix says to him in the bar, you're the only one that I trust. I'm trying to find you. Okay? But then, the way they set it up in the trailer, it almost looks like M is summoning him. I don't think M is summoning him. I think he's summoning Naomi. I do. Because the whole thing with the 00, I mean, at first I was like, I don't think they're going to make her 007, are they? And I know this is going to start a bunch of controversy, but I actually think what may happen is maybe she gets over her head and Felix is watching this and CIA is a part of this and he goes, screw this. I'm just going to go get Bond because Bond's the only guy that can do this. Goes there and bang. And by the way, I probably should have said, if you're dialing into this, there's going to be tons of spoilers because one of the articles, again, Empire Online, read that article. Cary Fukunaga was interviewed and he gave a lot of information. Like Paloma, Ana de Armas, is a CIA agent. Didn't know. So she's a good guy. So she's helping Bond in Cuba. Great. Didn't know. Now we know. All right. So we've got a couple things. And I'm going to stop right there. We're going to go over the trailer piece by piece because this is a big martini. And it's a cocktail hour. So we've got a little bit of time. The plot seems quite similar to Mission Impossible Fallout. Well, all right. So, Will, good point. But one thing I thought about, and one of my friends brought this up to me, is 25 movies. How original can you be? Like, I'm thinking, like, haven't we done genetic warfare? Haven't we done, maniacal? And yet, whenever Bond movies walk away from the formula and the tropes, we go up in arms. And the Bond community explodes. So it's a balancing act. I think they're going to serve up some really new things and incredible action. And by the way, from the very first second, this film looks beautiful. No more sepia, yellow filters like from Spectre. This thing is colorful. It's big. It's bold. I don't think anybody can argue that. And I have to tell you, I said this in my earlier video, Craig looks like he's acting the shit out of this. Spectre, there was a couple things, well, it's not the type of thing that looks good on a form. Okay. But this, I mean, just every scene was like, I'm living it. It's almost like this is my last Bond movie, and I'm just going to go balls to the wall. David, do you know if the No Time to Die exhibit will be permanently at Bond in Motion? I don't. I literally found out about this today. And by the way, I so many of these things I just found out about today, yesterday. I just found them out. There's Max, Bond walking along the road, getting picked up by Naomi in the Aston, looking straight out of Jack Reacher. True that. There's a couple moments. And by the way, I'm going to talk about the sartorial aspect for a second, because in that scene where Bond's walking along the road and he's got that duster, that kind of, it looks like a sage duster, and he swings it back and things like that. So cool. And by the way, that Henley, that white Henley, is like a co-star of the movie. For you guys that are Bond lifestylers, it looks like it's all over the place. Bond's got a beige short crop jacket with dark colored pants. I can't tell what it is, but when he goes into the garage, and I'm wondering this, when Felix retrieves him from Jamaica, is that outfit where he goes into the garage and whips off, the Living Daylights Aston Martin? He whips off the cover. I wonder if that's a travel outfit. I wonder if that's from Jamaica to his other garage, where I guess he keeps all these cars, before he goes to MI6 to kind of resuscitate his 00 level. And the reason I say that is because when he drives up to MI6, even in the trailer, he's in that car, but he's clearly getting that car for the first time. So we could start to time things out and place the outfits and start to denote, and I know this is what we do, where those happen. Some theories saying Safin is really Dr. No. Any opinion? I don't know. It's too soon. I mean, everybody says we don't see his hands in the trailer. And there's that great quote at the end. What is it? Little men shouldn't pretend to be gods. Someone's going to correct me. Somebody protect me. There are certain quotes, and certainly even the imagery of Rami Malek's character, Safin, at the end of the trailer, and you only see it briefly, that really are a nod back to that look of the 1960s James Bond. I mean, it looks and feels like it. Amazing scene. By the way, I've done it a million times, but my peeps over at NPL, I'm very proud of them. I have no official capacity with Eon, Danjak, NPL, or any of these brands. When you know a brand since 2011, 2012, guess what? You get to know them by first name and who they are, and you break bread with them. You get to know them. So I'm just happy and proud because these are my friends. I'm happy for all the brands, though. I mean, the brands are getting a lot of action. But it could be Dr. No. I do find it very interesting, the scarring. When he's in that mask, I mean, clearly that's Norway. Is it a young Madeline under the ice that's fallen through? Who knows? I mean, is that going back to Spectre when Madeline, tells Bond that story about somebody breaking in? Probably, right? But then you see Bond back in Norway. So does she open the mask and then there's a flashback to those moments? But then they revisit Norway. I don't know. I mean, again, this is just kind of what the trailer tells you, which is kind of interesting. A lot of you think that Safin is Dr. No. Making Safin the new Dr. No is the same as making Oberhausen a new Blofeld inspector. You mean it's obvious? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I don't disagree. Did you catch the technicians? James Bond Complex says, did you catch the technicians dressed in pink outfits? I didn't. I got to blow things up. I got to watch this on my TV. I saw like the tubes and everything like that. And by the way, that's the thing about this trailer. As opposed to the first Spectre one, you're a kite dancing in a hurricane. That had more conversational moments. This is like, it is a barrage of sight and sound and experiences. I mean, there's a lot of impact moments that I've got to go back. And that's why I said when I first watched it, you got to kind of unload it a little bit. I think Safin plays loads of games with Bond, like Test Him Underwater and the Garden of Death. Possibly. So how many of you think this is going to be an ode to Garden of Death? I've heard a lot of discussion that people think there's going to be a lot of Fleming moments. They're going to introduce that. David, what's the latest on the Tommy Bahama shirt? Are they scheduled to re-release it? I thought Tommy Bahama's shirt was re-released. Don't hold me to that. Make sure that it is the re-release. But I know some stock went up on the website. Maybe it's gone again, but I did hear that they're releasing that in February. And by the way, from a brand standpoint, there's a lot of lifestylers on. So from a brand standpoint, I think if everybody's patient, most of the items, I have lint. That's not good. Most of the items that you see will be up. I think the brands, many of them are finding out just how much they've had. For example, the NPL sweater, it was in Times Square. It was on posters, for the second time. It was just amazing. So brands are finding out, and sometimes they find out from us, which is kind of cool as well. Martin Lavere, hello to you too. GoldenEye Productions, I hope Bond is the only 007 in the movie. So I do too. Even though I just said that the 007 thing is, I'm starting to put pieces together that she indeed might be 007. I hope she's not. I think give her another 00. Good job. Last 2 years you've been a 00. Fantastic. And when they go commando, which clearly they have in some part of the movie, you see them wearing kind of similar outfits. So maybe they're pairing up together, which would be pretty badass. Because I do like her character. I think her character is not a cream puff. Nor did I find her condescending, nor did I find her using the female card. What I did find her using is the young person card, the ageism thing. And she even did a little bit of that in Good Morning America. But I don't think that's a bad thing because this isn't your father's Bond. Exactly. Wing Warper, David, Dan Taylor. When will the tactical NPL sweater be? Oh, Dan Taylor. Hello, Wing Warper. That makes sense that your name would be Wing Warper because this gentleman's a pilot, radio celebrity, the whole 9 yards. Wing Warper. Dan, nice to see you. Dan's going to take me flying someday. I'm going to hold him to it. So now that it's public, he has to do it. So the NPL sweater, a lot of people have asked you when it's going to be available. They're trying to make it as soon as humanly possible. February, hopefully. Hopefully not going into March, but there will be plenty of stock. This isn't limited edition. The string does close to tighten up the gap there, but it was based off of, as you can see, and stylized around the Navy, the Royal Navy, which makes sense. How great is that? That the Royal Navy, the Navy Commandos would have this type of an outfit. I think it's very badass indeed. And let me just send something out real quick. Talk amongst yourselves a little bit. Hold on 1 second. I am just pulling something up. I'm hoping that you can all see. Hi, David. What is your favorite Bond outfit? So do you mean in this film? So far, my favorite outfit, oh my God, I'm going to sound like a shill, is it's the Bond poster one. It's Ty. How about this? It's the NPL Bond poster commando one, and it's the other image one of the Tom Ford gray suit. Of course, it's got to be. They're just amazing. I'm sure I'm going to like the other things, but hey, John Simmons, how you doing? But for right now, I mean, that's kind of where I'm gravitating to, for sure. Plausible Pictures. Marcus and David send their love from London. Hey! Plausible Pictures. So who are you? Specifically the B-25 set. Will No Time to Die justify the DB5's return? Especially as it's been used much as a prop in recent entries. All right, so I'm okay with the DB5 now, and I'll tell you why. Before I was like, DB5 all the time? All the time to DB5 should have been the title. But it is a continuation of Spectre, clearly. And maybe they're leaving MI6 and going on their honeymoon. So he still has the DB5. The DB5 is his car. Some people had issues with the Gatling gun behind the headlights. It's a Bond movie, people. A 51-year-old just bungee jumped with one arm. That just hurt me. All right, I'm 51. Trust me. So yeah, I'm okay with the DB5. I think it's justified now. And also, I want to get back to a pre-title sequence that is just knocks your sock off, blows your hair back. And I think we're going to get one. People are talking about the watch. The faux patina, too expensive, late to the party here. Peter, what do you think about the Omega watch, David? All right. Let us have a watch discussion. So let me make it short and then I will expand on it. I love the watch. I love the brown. I love the arrow. I love the look of it. I love both straps, the NATO strap as well as the metal one. I love the retro look. I love the patina. I love the Illuma. It's so bright it could be used as a flashlight. Who knows? Maybe it does something in the movie. I think it's phenomenal. I love the retro aspect of this movie. I said to people before, I love the title work. I love the harkening back to the Living Daylights and the vintage cars. Some of his outfits are even a little vintagey and things like that. I think Soderbergh took cues from kind of, a little bit of a vintage Bond moment. So I really love the watch. The packaging is interesting. And I don't see a case, and I really haven't explored it that much. Give me a little time. But it looks like a soft case, which I wonder factors into the movie. And I'm wondering if I don't know if it's a cute thing or not. I kind of got to go back. David, do you have a personal favorite person for who should be the next Bond? I've said Henry Cavill. And I know people question his acting chops, but I've seen him in some things, and I think he could really do it. I really do. 1 second. Don't rush. Don't push. Just got to do something real quick. I'm getting so many people are texting, and some people have been televised in articles. It's actually a very exciting. Can people feel the excitement here? It's really kind of amazing, actually. What is the price of the watch? Great question. It's over $9,000 American dollars. It is titanium. It is over $9,000. And they've actually said it's not limited edition. I almost think for $9,000 it doesn't need to be limited. I think the price itself makes it limited. So it is, it's upwards. I mean, some people have mentioned you could buy a Rolex for that much, but it really depends on what you like and where you want to take that. Yes, Christine, it's over 8,000. It's over 9,000. So with the titanium band, which you have to get the titanium band. If you're going to get this and quibble over the bands of whether I you get them all. You get them all. Daniel Stocker, Chin Chin DZ, still buzzing from that gun barrel-esque ending to that trailer. Yes. So I know we're jumping around like crazy people, but the ending of the trailer I think was such a nod. First of all, we're like gun barrel, gun barrel, gun barrel. And then to really, I think this was Cary Fukunaga's little doff to, his hat to us of, you know what, guys, I'm a Bond fan too. I'm going to get you a gun barrel scene. In fact, I'm going to put it in the first trailer. So the reality is that I love that. And again, he's wearing that tactical outfit. So we're getting Bond in a tactical gear, which is just amazing. Heroi, $9,200. Don't know if I want the Aston Martin DB5 or the V8. Yeah, which? All right. So you win a contest, and I want everybody to list there. You win a contest. Don't think about spend. In other words, everybody would say DB5 because it's a good investment. Out of the 4 or 5 Aston Martins that you see, which one would you want to keep in your garage from this movie that you saw? Give me an idea. I want to see that. Which car you most... Hey, Matt Spazer. Matt Spazer, right, from Suits of James Bond and from Tailors with Love. Saw your reaction video, some of it, Matt. I haven't finished the whole thing, but I want to go back. Matt Spazer says, which car are you most looking forward to seeing in action in this film? Definitely the Living Daylights one. And I don't know if there's an action film or if he's just getting around places like Norway, but that's just one that, I don't know, it screams vintage to me. The DB5 looks very exciting too. Any concerns of Lashana Lynch being named Bond near the end of the film? Nathan Marple. Nathan, 0. Goose egg. I don't think she's ever going to become James Bond or Bond. I think it's his Bond's movie. I think he's going to have a foil in her. I think she's going to take the Mickey out of him from an age standpoint, more than a misogynistic standpoint. And by the way, I have people do that all the time to me. Not that they call me old man, but, look, if the younger generations wants to take pot shots and you can't hold your own, you've got your own problems. Yes, the 87 Vantage, that's all me. Oh my gosh. I like the lines of that car. It's just amazing. DB5, all right, DBS. Wow, people are just jumping in here. A lot of DB5s. The Valhalla, Nick Charles, 1947 said the Valhalla. Valhalla looks amazing. I wonder who's going to drive that because you really don't get to see it. Naomi pulls up in the other one. I love the kind of like glasses like, need a ride? Can I give you a lift this way? James Bond Television, the V8. There he is. My good friend James Bond Television. If you haven't gone on James Bond Television on Facebook, he finds these amazing lost videos from today, tomorrow, and present that every day he's got new material. He came out with a reaction video. I haven't seen it, brother, but you're my coffee tomorrow. You're my coffee, Wilfred. You're my coffee. But he's a great guy, family man, great guy, good person in the Bond community. I'm sorry, I'm gushing. I like the guy. Jerome, what's going on, man? Jerome wants the V8, DB11. All right, Max, the Toyota Land Cruiser I think would be cheaper to maintain. Max, out of all the vehicles, you went for the Toyota Land Cruiser? I said not to think about the cheapness of it. The Bond Brain. Bond Brain. Just send kids to their room, David. Yes, I will. Mr. Bond Brain, Bud West, has joined us. Welcome, my friend. The Bond Brain is a podcast. If you don't know what the Bond Brain is, then you're missing out. A podcast that doesn't just talk about, oh, nice sweater. He does so much more. He actually gets into the mindset of James Bond, and in turn, you are better for it. and I never miss a podcast. He keeps me company on my commutes back and forth. So love seeing everybody joining. This is fun. This is turning into like a little drink party. And if people don't have drinks, that's fine too. GoldenEye Productions. Does Safin remind you of Dr. No? Yeah. So let's talk about Safin and his cloak. All right. That had to be very purposeful. I mean, first of all, do good guys ever wear cloaks? I mean, Superman wears a cape, but it's not a cloak. That's kind of a cloak. It's got the collar and everything like that. And he's almost vampire-ish. And, Rami Malek, he could probably play that in his sleep. Excuse the pun. But yeah, Max Ruse. Thank you. DB5, of course. What are you thinking? By the way, just one thing I want to tell everybody, because we're about 30 minutes in now to our happy hour. Thanks for all joining us. This is great. It's like a little party. This Saturday, we're doing a live stream from something called Operation Gatherall. Operation Gatherall was was kind of my thing because so many people were being like, "Hey, David, why do you just invite your friends to events in New York City? Hey, David, I'd love to be." And so I put out a general invite for anyone to actually show up to a location, not mine, but to a place that we have for, from, the afternoon on to just get together to chat about Bond, to have fun. Well, I've set up, because I don't know how to do anything without a little bit of drama, I've set up something called the Gatherall Games. Instead of Thunderball, Gatherall Games. So from 4:30 p.m. Eastern till probably 6 o'clock, we're going to be live streaming those games. And the attendees are going to be playing the games. And you're going to see trivia. Actually, I don't want to give it away what you're going to see. You're going to see more than just the basic type of games. There's games of skill. There's games of knowledge. There's games of just very, very Bondish moments. And there'll be prizes. And even if you're in Brazil and Scotland, and even if you're Rodrigo Musak, it's totally fine. Because you don't have to show up. You all can't get there. That's fine. We got plenty of people. But you're going to be able to jump on for a live stream and watch it and experience it and comment on it and have fun with it. Because if you know anything about me, I love when the community gets together like this. So this is what it's all about. Matt Polson. Hello, Matt. How's it going? So do we think Safin is younger in Norway shots? Also, why would they have used a stunt double from the photographs? I do think that he's younger. I do think that's a flashback. I really do. When you see and again, tons of spoilers, when you saw the little girl in the rainbow coat run across, I do think that's a flashback. So I think they may have used a stunt double because they were setting up lighting shots. They do that all the time. They do stand-ins that have about the same height and things like that. So that could be, or, dot capture and things like that. Who knows? The No Mask, Metamoriella says, cool name. The No Mask suggests a Japanese connection. Dr. No is Chinese, I think. True. And by the way, couple little notices I noticed about the fourth time. Number one, Rami Malek's character is sitting on the floor. It's very Japanese. It's sitting Indian style. It's very, very Asian. The other thing is when you see what we all think is Rami Malek in the coat with that weird face mask looking through the window. When Q, check it out. When Q opens the door to his apartment, it's the same window. So is that Rami Malek revisiting in present time and breaking into Q's apartment to steal his cats? Or is it just Cary Fukunaga playing with us because that's a window from Norway? I don't know. And we're not supposed to know. We're supposed to do this because we got a couple months, right? I mean, I hope we all understand. Hey, did I just see Jeff Weibo? Jeff Weibo, if I just saw your name, say hello to me. Jeff Weibo from James Bond Canada. You know him, you love him. So we're supposed to talk about this because it's feast right now. It's going to be famine. And I don't mean famine like we're not going to be doing this, but we're not going to have trailers every single day. Even this week is going to start to quiet down until Saturday. Because Saturday, December 7th, is when we're doing that live stream, the Operation Gatherall. So make sure, anyway, check out Instagram and YouTube. You'll see that you can sign up to watch that live stream. So Max Ruse, the decor in the lair look like bonsai trees when we see him sitting. Right. So it's a Japanese flair. It's very angular, which again could have that little connection back to Dr. No. We're going to have to see. Peter Billen, what a great day for us fans. Cheers. Skoll. Solange, listen to me. I am not multilingual. In fact, I mispronounce things a lot. Any chance we see Coral Jr.? ELG. All right, so ELG, EJLG, sorry. Edgel G? Yeah, sorry. Let's bring up something. I'm hoping it's not Dr. No. I know, people are like, it'd be so cool if it's Dr. No. Not to me. Can we just push forward and get new characters in a Bond movie? I mean, I want to get a new Bond baddie that I can know and love and spit on and despise. I mean, I want good scenes, and it looks like we may have a great monologue, which we didn't really get with Blofeld and Bond Inspector, but I want a great monologue between Safin and Bond, and it looks like we're going to get something, because I remember Skyfall, oh my gosh, had those great monologues between the bad guys. Ben Stahl. The new Seamaster has a serial number of A00762. Come on! How cool is that? Vintage-inspired Seamaster and the year Dr. No. Gosh. Boy, guys, you are right. They're leaving a lot of cookie crumbs. It's amazing. I hope it's not Q's apartment, for the sake of the cats. Jerome's right. For the sake of the cats, we don't want the cats hurt, and we don't want Q. But by the way, Q and Moneypenny are back. A lot of people are saying that Q doesn't age and maybe he's a vampire. That is very possible. I'm just getting big time no vibes. Yes, Golden Productions. Everybody is. I think that discussion is going to be there until April, I'm sure. Distinctive grade media. I think it's Dr. No will take away from the 1962 original. So with that, I don't think Barbara Broccoli will let it pass. I agree. And I'm hoping you're right. I don't wish list. I wanted a Commando Bond moment. Got it. I wanted Badass Bond to be back. Got it. I wanted some sartorial moments that I could connect with and live in my everyday life. Got it. I wanted a badass watch that made me want to sell a kidney. Got it. I wanted all these, and I wanted a good storyline, but I want some uniqueness to it too. I want new characters that they can introduce. It's not enough for me to say, hey, we brought back Felix, who I'm glad they brought back. Give me some new people. Paloma looks very interesting. She does that flip and with the guns, and I didn't realize she was going to be such an action star. Somebody said she's the new Bond Lara Croft. I thought that was actually very funny. The Bond brain. Yes, Bud. I hope it's a new villain. Right? I mean, we want a new villain because we have our Dr. No. He was amazing, and he died. And so why do we have to rehash it? I guess because we rehash Bond, it makes sense. Bond Armory. If you had to choose one holy shit moment from the trailer, what was it? Oh, that's good. All right, so that's a really good question. My holy shit moment for me, this is going to sound so bad, but guys, you know who I am. It was some of the clothing. I'm going to get ridiculed for this. Who cares? I'm too old to worry about that stuff. Just seeing new outfits like that short beige jacket, the long duster that he kind of flips around and some of those things. I was just like, ooh. Oh, Jeff Weibo, there he is. Hey, Jeff, how's it going? That to me was great. But from a scene standpoint, there was a couple laughter moments, which it's very rare for them to put funny moments in a Bond trailer nowadays. But when he does that thing with the guard, and think about it, it's been 5 years. So he goes to the guard and he goes, Bond. And the guard looks up. Now, either he's looking up like this because he's going, the Bond that I've heard about, the Bond legendary, the one that's dead, the one that has destroyed all this stuff, or he's going Bond like, yeah, Bond who? Either way, it's very funny because then he goes, James Bond. That was a very funny moment. One of the holy shit moments, I think, for me, certainly the bike jump was a holy shit moment. The other holy shit moment is, I think some of the Commando stuff was just because for me it was like that dream realization of we're getting Commando guns. Yes, the headlight guns, were they CGI? I don't think they were CGI, and I think you're going to find out, Vic, tomorrow that the guns coming out, maybe when they first came out were CGI, but they weren't CGI. Sean Stout, how's it going? Because at Bond in Motion, we're going to be, thanks to Marcus, we're going to be putting some pictures and video of some of the Bond emotion stuff, and they got the car with the Gatling guns. So if you're in London, I'm really jealous. James Bond Netherlands? What are you doing up? Dude, it is way too late. You need your bedtime. My good friend from James Bond Netherlands, again, another great guy who puts out great material, has a great bunch of friends in the Netherlands. Really, I love the geographical sense here. We've got Canada on, we've got people from the Netherlands, we've got Belgium, we've got Norway represented here. We've got even Maryland of all things. Amazing. The face from Bond before he fires the Aston guns, love it. Yes, that was very good. So when Bond kind of looks at Madeline like, I got this. It was almost like when, the whole thing from Skyfall when he jumps onto the train and he shoots his cuffs. It's one of those cocky / confident Bond moments that I'm just like, yes. Max, Ray, find me the optic that is on Bond's rifle. I need one for my new one. All right. See, so Max brings up a good point. How many of you today were texting each other like, find me this, find me that. Which Henley is he wearing? Do this. Some people's phones were absolutely blowing up. And I can't blame you guys. I mean, there was a time, poor Harris Thomas from Dressing Like Bond, we had a great conversation on my way to a client. We got cut off. And he's been texting me like, hey, did you see this? And there's an Omega video and the Bond Bulletin put something up. Have you seen that? And I haven't even been able to reply because, like you, phones are exploding. And tomorrow will be quieter. And then Friday will be quieter. And Saturday will be relaxed. And we'll have our little Bond gather-all party and, chill out and kick up and have chats. And then we can relax. And then it'll all get crazy again in February. Because it will. I mean, I think February is going to be another explosive moment that's just going to carry through to April. Jack Ayers. Oh, sorry. You just got cut off. Now the questions are moving too fast for me to read. Righteous Brother. It's late in the UK too. By the way, is anybody having a little cocktail hour to celebrate today? Looked like some people were even doing champagne. Pump for this movie, says William Kendrick. It will try to wrap up the other movies. The story is convoluted, needs a standalone like Casino Royale, which is amazing. William, it's great. I think a lot of people are forgiving certain parts of Spectre now because they're seeing how it ties in very readily. But I think I'm going to have to kind of rewatch the Craig movies to kind of get into this. How many of you are all going to do that before No Time to Die? Of course you're going to. Are there any cheaper clothing items from Bond films? Says Magic Cannabis. Magic Cannabis? Cool name. Yes, there's already budget frugal moments. Not for everything because we just started to see everything, but I'm sure there will be, and we'll talk about it. We already put up our Connolly jacket frugal moment that people have been able to find. So you can find that on our YouTube. But more are coming. There are lots of people, which are great, who are doing frugal Bond moments because I understand some of these things like a $9,000 watch and a backgammon set are not for everybody's taste. For some people they are, and they're great. You want a backgammon set, that's that expensive, that's fine. I mean, life is about choice. Like you chose to dial in to this channel tonight, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Shamil Khan, very cool name. Hey, David. Sham here, a sort of side comment, but I'd love to see a scene where Bond plays a sport again. I think the last time was fencing in Die Another Day. Obviously, I'm biased with tennis. Yes, you are. Good man. I don't know if we're going to see a sports scene. I think that would have been cool, but think about it. We're getting a nightclub scene. We're getting another tuxedo scene where there's a dance party that it looks like when that spotlight comes down in the trailer and it focuses on Bond and then everybody moves away from Bond and all hell breaks loose and Paloma starts doing flips and fires. There's some badass things. We're getting a Jamaica scene. I mean, I'm not saying they did. Of course they wouldn't. But it does seem like if you checked off all the things you wanted Bond moments around, we got that. So if they're going to leave something on the cutting room floor, I'm okay with that. The Ham Dog. Have you checked out Knives Out yet? Craig was great in it. No. And everybody, including the critics, loves it. It's got something crazy like 98% on Rotten Tomato, which is absolutely insane. So yes, I will be checking it out. Alan Hilburn. Hey, Alan, great guy, travels around the world with a bunch of people, lives the Bond lifestyle. Alan dresses the Bond lifestyle, connects with it. Alan's a great guy, good friend of Joe Darlington's as well. Alan. And Alan, thank you for sharing all the videos on YouTube. That's super cool of you. Never asked to do that, but when you do it, it's super nice. This is crazy tonight, says Jason Phillips. Jason, you have no idea. What I think is going to happen is we're going to end this cocktail hour, and you're going to find that there's like 10 more video reactions that you didn't even know about. And somebody told me that there's interviews now that are being set up for tomorrow. They've already been filmed. And by the way, did you guys read the Esquire article today? Do it. I think you'll find it very interesting. But there's a reporter that's following around, let's just say, Bond lifestyle moments. That's going to be posting later on in the year, towards the beginning of next year. And you'll see that in this article today, Esquire talks about what they see in the trailer. They talk about N. Peele, and they talk about Tom Ford. It's very cool. So brands are going nuts today. James Bond Netherland, did you say something about sleep? Getting late here. Cheers, mate. P.S. Try to get some sleep tonight. He knows me well. Sometimes I'll get up at 3, 3:30, 4, and I'll just stay up because there's no time to sleep. I have one of these minds, it's probably like yours as well, where I can't shut it off ever. And then sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it's not. Sean Warren, if Safin is Dr. No, is Eon heading down the Marvel DC comic book route in having Bond, our hero, battling his famous archenemies? I don't think so. / I hope not. Again, you've got these amazing writers who, back when they did, when Ian Fleming wrote Dr. No, he had an amazing thought and creative process around building and creating a new bad guy. Create more bad guys, different bad guys, please. I'm hopefully checking out Knives Out next week. Avenged 5939. Let me know how it is. I hear it's great. I think if Bond's going to do sport, put him in either an MMA octagon or a boxing ring. 51 years old. Are you sure you want to put him in a... You know what? He's still badass, but 51-year-olds, and I can attest to this, are like Yoda in Attack of the Clones. When you see Yoda fight at the end of the Attack of the Clones, he's walking like this. He's like, kh, kh. And then all of a sudden he's jumping around like crazy. That's what a 51-year-old is like. We reserve our energy. We walk kind of slowly. We don't rush around. We don't go around. We're not sitting there drooling like we did in our 30s or 20s. And then all of a sudden, if you get on our bad side, cat-like. That was weird. I swear to God, it's just half. David, which leather jacket are you wearing in this photo? Yes, the photo on this video. I am wearing the Belstaff Patterson, which is a Craig moment. So, but I'm hoping to get some new coats and jackets soon. We'll see. Hopefully, right? Fingers crossed. You sharp-eyed detectives out there. Abbas, David just heard from Amiga that the new watch will not be a very limited run. Exactly. Yeah. Good news for those of us who may not be ready yet to buy. Now, excuse me while I go sell my kidney. Right? Can I do something? We've got 358 people on right now. What if 358 people give a part of their kidney and donate it? We could all get a watch, and everybody could wear it for one day out of the year. Oh, come on, guys. I'm feeding you genius. You're just not picking it up. Kevin Smith, highly recommend Knives Out. Anna and Danielle. Yeah, I heard Anna Darmus is great. Amazing. John Riggs, getting the strange feeling that maybe Craig is not done after all. Ooh, very interesting. Maybe not. It would be very interesting. What's my favorite Omega? This one. In fact, the Urban Gentry, my good friend TGV, interviewed me. We did a head-to-head of Rolex versus Omega, and I don't know. I just keep going back to this watch, but we'll see. Craig will return. What if Craig does one more to Ty Connery? That would be cool. How many people are in for Craig? I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to go to like a Henry Cavill or something like that. I think I'm ready for that. Ian Conklin says, Phoebe Walters. Oh, I just missed that. Sorry. You guys are asking questions quick, but I do like that. What do you think of the media saying women aren't treated equal, even though they clearly are? I haven't seen women mistreated. So the ones that are saying they're being mistreated on this film, I don't know. I can't see that. So I think, there's a lot of things that the media is conjuring, or people that have, I don't know, certain agendas are conjuring. Today, I'm hoping that erase some of that. I saw people on both sides of the avenue kind of get back together and just say, this is just all something for us to get excited about. And that's what people are doing. They're getting excited about it. Very excited. I'm mispronouncing things. So we've got Sean Warren, who says, what about Aidan Turner? Aidan Turner would be good. What about Chris Hemsworth? I don't know about Chris. I would keep seeing Thor if it was Chris Hemsworth. I think my wife Danielle would like that, but I don't know. Fassbender? No. Looks his age. Sorry, Michael Fassbender. Apologies, but there it is. Jake Ayers, did Blofeld surprise me? No. I'm a little surprised they put him in the trailer just because I didn't know they were going to spread that. But I think most people in the Bond community knew that Blofeld was going to return in some state or another. And I think a lot of us thought that it was going to be, sure enough, a Silence of the Lambs, fava bean type of moment. And I think that's what we're getting. By the way, Christoph Waltz looks amazing, and he's got no eye. Go take a look at it again. That eye is gone. That eye is done. So he's looking pretty ferocious. GoldenEye Productions, I'm in for Cavill. Is it Cavill? Cavill? I've heard the pronunciation before. Right. Did you prefer Skyfall or Spectre? Oh, wow. There's not even a close bit of that. I prefer Skyfall. And listen, I don't hate Spectre. We're going to be, Joe Darlington and I are going to be posting our, last Bond, was it worse? And we're focusing on Spectre. And it's not a love fest, but it's not a, slitting of the throat either. It's not a Red Wedding Game of Thrones moments. We like certain aspects of it. I don't love it as a whole. I actually enjoy going back to certain parts of it, but I don't watch the whole movie straight through. All right. Worms T17, question for you. You think No Time to Die is going to backtrack the whole Blofeld half-brother thing? I don't think I think there may be a little mention, like if he's sitting there and he goes, she loved you. And if he comes back, he's dead. You're dead. What do you think of that, little brother? I mean, there might be a reference to it. I don't need it. I don't need to hear the brother thing anymore. Do you? Do you want to hear that? I'm all for Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, Tom Hiddleston. I don't know. I saw him in The Night Manager, and everybody's like, you got to see him in The Night Manager. And it fell short. He seems very slight, if that makes sense. I do like him as Loki, though. Makes an awesome Loki. Cavill will pull a Brosnan. They both almost got the role last time. Oh, yeah, very good connection. Yeah, that's true. And everybody said Brosnan was kind of guilty of being too good looking, almost like a model. And maybe they're saying that of Henry as well. Henry, like a first name basis. John Walters, hello from Manchester. You people in Europe that are still up, good for you. Is it the high of the day that you're still up? It's pretty amazing. But my gosh, good for you for hanging in there. But I did say something earlier. And as my drink comes to a natural close, so is this cocktail hour, because it is a cocktail hour. I wanted to keep it to an hour. Let's continue this conversation. So 4:30 p.m. Eastern, there will be a live stream. It's up there. You can sign up for it on YouTube. But we're going to reconnect on this, and I guarantee the people that you'll be seeing at Operation Gather All, they're going to want to talk about the trailer. We're going to let our thoughts kind of congeal. Just tonight, go through this with me. Do a little bit of a mantra. Kind of relax a little bit. Go back and watch the trailer again. Leave it alone. Walk away. Go do #Bond25 Fitness Challenge. Go work out. Come back. Watch the trailer again. Go talk to your family. Recognize who they are. You miss them today. Go back, watch the trailer again, and then go to sleep. And don't think about it. Don't get up in the middle of the night like, what does it mean and this and that. It's not that. It won't be like that. Magic Amps, have you met Daniel Craig? Yes, I was able to ask him a question up on stage. I met him at Tom Ford. I also met him at an autograph thing, and he said good morning to me on this location filming of No Time to Die. So, yep, that's it. And I'm sure that's all that's going to be. And that's fine. Seemed like a nice guy. Happy. And he seemed happy today in Good Morning America. Anyway, guys, Gareth, the Bond Armory, Nathan, Hypatia, Tim Hands, what's going on? Matthew, Tom Cullen, that's a good one. Guys, we could stay here for 4 hours, but this is a happy hour. So I'm going to sign off. Let's talk soon. Join me on Saturday. We'll continue the party, and I'm sure there'll be more coming. Anyway, this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. What a day, guys. We're all going to sleep pretty well. We'll talk to you real soon. Take care.